I stared at the empty closet, the hangers swinging like ghosts in the draft from the open window. It was 2 a.m., and I'd just woken up to an eerie silence. No snoring from the other side of the bed, no rustle of sheets. Jason's side was cold, his drawers yanked open and half empty, his favorite jacket gone. Our three kids, Lily 8, Max 6, and baby Sophie barely 2, were asleep down the hall, oblivious. I called his phone, straight to voicemail, texted, "Where are you?" No response. Panic clawed at my throat as I paced the living room, flipping through our shared calendar on my phone. Nothing. No note. No fight that morning. Just gone. That was the night my world imploded, leaving me to pick up the shards alone with three tiny humans depending on me. We'd been together for 12 years, married for 9. Jason was the steady one, the accountant who balanced our books, the dad who built treehouses on weekends. I worked part-time as a graphic designer from home, juggling diapers and deadlines while he brought home the bacon. But lately, he'd been distant. Longer hours at the office, vague answers about his day. I'd chalked it up to stress from his promotion. "We'll get through it," I'd say, kissing his forehead. Now, standing in our half-empty bedroom, confusion swirled like fog. Had I missed the signs? Was there someone else? Fear gripped me. What if he'd been in an accident? I called hospitals, then the police, who told me to wait 48 hours. "Adults leave sometimes," the officer said flatly. "Leave? Without a word?" Heartbreak hit in waves as dawn broke, and I had to wake the kids for school, pretending everything was fine while my insides twisted. The first few days were a blur of survival mode. I told the kids Daddy was on a work trip. Lily bought it. Max asked too many questions. Sophie just cried for Dada. Bills piled up. Our joint account was mysteriously low. I dipped into savings to buy groceries, my hands shaking at the checkout. Friends offered sympathy, but their pitying looks made guilt flood in. Was this my fault? Had I nagged too much about his late nights? Pushed him away with endless kid chaos? I scoured his emails on our shared laptop, nothing suspicious at first. Then a deleted folder I recovered. Receipts for flowers, dinners, a hotel in the city. My stomach dropped. Infidelity? But no names, no proof. I confronted his boss over the phone. Jason had quit 2 weeks ago, citing personal reasons. Quit? Without telling me? The betrayal stung deeper than I imagined, like acid in an open wound. How could the man who'd held my hand through Sophie's colic nights just vanish? Tension built as weeks turned to months. I filed a missing persons report, but the police found no foul play. His car was parked at the airport, keys inside, no flight records. Abandoned us, they implied. I hired a private investigator with money I couldn't spare, scraping from freelance gigs while the kids sensed my unraveling. Lily started wetting the bed again. Max threw tantrums at school. Sophie clung to me like a lifeline. Motherhood felt like drowning. Waking at 5 a.m. to hustle designs, then school runs, meals, baths, all while grief gnawed at me. Money dried up fast. Our mortgage loomed like a storm cloud. I applied for assistance, swallowing pride at the welfare office, feeling like a failure. "You're strong," my sister said, but inside fear whispered, "What if I can't provide? What if they resent me for this broken home?" Then came the first twist, the one that shattered my lingering hope. The PI called late one night. I found him. He's in California, San Diego to be exact, living in a condo. My heart raced. Alive? Safe? "But there's more," he hesitated. "He's not alone. There's a woman and a child. A boy, about 4. A child? Confusion exploded into rage. Jason had another family? I demanded proof. Photos arrived via email. Jason at a park, laughing with a brunette, pushing a swing with a little boy who looked just like Max at that age. The timestamp, recent. But the boy was 4, meaning this affair started years ago during my pregnancy with Sophie. Betrayal wasn't just leaving. It was building a secret life while I carried his child. Guilt crashed over me. Had I been blind? Ignored red flags like his business trips to the West Coast? Heartbreak morphed into a hollow ache. The man I loved was a stranger, a liar who duplicated our life elsewhere. I confronted him via a burner phone number the PI provided. He answered on the third ring, voice tentative. "Rachel?" I unleashed everything. The kids' tears, the empty bank, the lies. He sobbed, said he'd fallen out of love years ago, met Elena at a conference, got her pregnant accidentally. I couldn't juggle both, he admitted. Juggle? Like we were a chore? He promised to send money, but it felt like blood money. I hung up, shaking, the phone slipping from my hand. That call raised the stakes. Now it wasn't just abandonment, but deliberate deception, leaving us in financial ruin while he started fresh. We limped on. I got a full time job at a design firm, enrolling Sophie in daycare with subsidies. The kids adapted slowly. Therapy helped Lily open up. Max channeled anger into soccer. But emotional struggle lingered. I'd cry in the shower, fearing I'd never trust again, guilty for not protecting them sooner. Money was tight, late notices on utilities, skipping meals to feed them. I sold our wedding rings for rent. Each pawn shop visit a fresh wound. The second twist hit like a thunderbolt, escalating everything to unbearable. A letter arrived from a lawyer. Jason was filing for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. Attached, a paternity test for the boy in San Diego, and a demand for child support from me. Wait, from me? Reading further, my world tilted. Jason claimed I'd cheated, that Sophie wasn't his. Confusion blinded me. Sophie, with his eyes, his dimples? Impossible. But the test results showed no match. How? I rushed to our family doctor demanding answers. Turns out, during Sophie's birth complications, we'd used a sperm donor because Jason's count was low, a secret we'd agreed to keep, even from the kids to spare his ego. He'd twisted it now, claiming I went behind his back. The betrayal deepened. He was using our most vulnerable moment to evade responsibility, potentially cutting us off from any support. Fear surged. What if the courts believed him? I'd lose everything, including my baby's legal ties. The climax erupted in a courthouse mediation room. Jason appeared via video, Alina in the background. I faced him, voice steady despite the tremor. How could you do this? To us, to your children. He avoided my eyes, mumbling about starting over. But when the mediator questioned the paternity twist, I presented our medical records, the donor agreement signed by both. Jason's face crumpled. His lawyer backpedaled. He admitted it was a desperate ploy to avoid alimony. The room spun with shouts, me accusing him of cowardice, him breaking down, confessing the affair started even earlier, during Max's toddler years. I never wanted this many kids, he blurted. The words hung like daggers. I walked out with temporary support ordered, but the damage was irreversible. Our family, once whole, was fractured beyond repair. Now, months later, the house feels too big, echoes of laughter faded. I've rebuilt somewhat. Promoted at work, the kids thriving in counseling. But in quiet moments like tucking Sophie in, reflection creeps in. Heartbreak for the love lost, guilt for not seeing his unhappiness sooner, fear of raising them alone in an uncertain world. Motherhood is my anchor, but the emotional scars run deep, trust shattered, self-doubt lingering. I've learned resilience, but at what cost? If you were me, shattered by abandonment, twisted by lies and a secret child, what would you do? Would you pursue full custody and cut him out forever, fight for every penny in court, or try to forgive for the kid's sake? Please, share your advice. I need to know there's a path through this darkness.